Hello, my friends, and I hope you are having a fantastic day. I want to talk about the Xbox price hikes, and then I want to talk about software as a service or gaming as a service overall in the gaming industry. So, for a long time, I myself did in fact have an Xbox Game Pass. I recently canceled it because, well, for one, I'm not using it, and for two, it's ridiculous to have to pay for some of these things. And for three, Xbox Game Pass price hike announced with a new tier that doesn't have any day one releases. This is an article on Niche Gamer by Brandon Orselli. Here you see Microsoft has announced a new price hike and overhaul of its Xbox Game Pass subscription service structure and offerings, while creating a brand new tier. The first price hike is Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which is increasing from $16.99 to $19.99 per month. The features of this tier are not changing. PC Game Pass is also increasing from $9.99 to $11.99 per month and will remain unchanged. The basic level, $9.99 Xbox Game Pass, will become unavailable tomorrow, July 10th, and will be replaced by a $14.99 Game Pass Standard tier, which obviously that was a couple days ago. But the new Xbox Game Standard tier will no longer have access to first-party games on day one and does not have cloud gaming, though it will now have multiplayer access on console. Previously, this was only an Ultimate tier perk. Despite cutting off their baseline Game Pass tier, the company will let existing Xbox Game Pass subscriptions to continue, but new users will only be able to go to Standard or Ultimate after the changes happen. The new Xbox Game Pass Standard tier will roll out in the coming months. Unlike previous Xbox Game Pass price hikes that affected most non-American countries, the new prices are global. You can check your new regional pricing here. Furthermore, beginning September 18th, users will no longer be able to stack more than 13 months of Game Pass vouchers. Users did this with monthly vouchers on sale to save big, though the stacking feature will remain in that limited amount and won't affect existing stacks of redeemed vouchers. And here you see the current subscription offerings, which obviously, since it's after the 10th, you can now do the two. You can either do PC, which is $11.99 a month, gets you hundreds of high-quality games on PC, new games on day one, members deal in discounts, and an EA Play membership. Keep that in mind. And the Ultimate does the same thing, except you get online console multiplayer. Now, for the console, you either get a choice between Core and Ultimate, which gives you the console multiplayer, and a catalog of over 25 high-quality games, versus Ultimate, where you get hundreds of high-quality games on console, PC, and cloud. Then if you do both, you can just do the Ultimate for the $19.99 a month. Now, obviously, Xbox is not the only one to do this. Nintendo has their own online access, as does PlayStation. PlayStation has its own 3 tiers. Monthly, the Essentials tier gives you monthly games, online multiplayer, and exclusive discounts. And you can pay that either monthly, every 3 months, or for 12 months at $79.99. Extra lets you download hundreds of great games and gives you the Ubisoft Plus Classics. It also includes monthly games, online multiplayer, exclusive discounts, share played, cloud storage, and exclusive content. Now, this will cost you either $14.99 a month or $134.99 a year. And then, of course, for premium, you get game trials, cloud streaming, game catalog, online multiplayer, cloud storage, Ubisoft Plus Classics, exclusive discounts, exclusive content, monthly games, share play, Sony Pictures catalog, all for the low price of $159.99 a year or $17.99 a month. Now, I did also have a PlayStation Plus subscription. I do no longer because, well, I'm not a rich person, and we have to cut back on some things, don't you know? Thankfully, I play most of my gaming on PC, and honestly, I've just found it's much cheaper for me to buy the games I want to play. As is, I have a very large back catalog of games I have bought and yet to play. So do I really need a bunch of games that I have access to, but I'm still not playing? It's much easier and simpler and cheaper to just buy a new game if I want it. Now, getting in on the action of the whole trying to sell us gaming as a service versus gaming as a product is Ubisoft. And we've discussed it before, especially with the coming up release of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Ubisoft is trying to get people into the same thing. We've talked about it. Gaming as a service, aka GaaS, is something they're very much trying to push for. The entire industry is trying to push for it. And if you're wondering why, then all you have to do is look at Adobe currently, or even Microsoft production software such as Word, Excel, etc. By trapping you into the service and promising you supposed upgrades, that means they are guaranteeing themselves money from you, whether they put out something new or not, because you have to continue their subscription service in order to continue your access to what it is you are using. Here you see Ubisoft offers you two options. The classic of $7.99 a month, which you get to play an evolving selection of games on PC, access to standard editions, and 20% discount on games included in your plan. For $17.99 a month, you get to play 100 plus games on PC. New game releases day one in early access when available. Most premium editions and DLC content. 20% discount on games and DLCs. 10% off virtual currencies. Oh my God. Monthly game rewards. Play on cloud with Luna and play on Xbox. Now yearly, this will either be $79.99 or $179.99. But again, all they're trying to do is continue to get money from you even when they're not necessarily providing you benefits by pretending they're providing you benefits. Realistically, having access to a bunch of games you're probably not going to play, but you're paying for access to them anyway, isn't a perk. I may have a list of games, probably a couple $1,000s worth of games that I have not played, but I am not paying monthly to continue to access those games. I can right now go and play those games should I desire. But if you cancel, then you are no longer able to play the games. One of the things that concerns me about canceling my PlayStation Plus is the fact that I had a game going on in Wild Arms 2, and now I know I am no longer going to be able to do that. If you have not played Wild Arms 2, you should. The Wild Arms games are amazing. And of course, EA has to get in on the same thing. They have their EA Play. For $5.99 a month or $39.99 a year, you can play selected new release games for up to 10 hours, days before they launch. Who wants to play a game only 10 hours for the days before it launches? Anyway, unlock in-game member rewards. Oh, goody. Get unlimited access to a collection of our best-loved games. And then for Play Pro, which is $16.99 a month after the initial trial of $5.99, or $119.99 a year, you get to play premium editions of select new release games days before they launch, unlock in-game member rewards, and get unlimited access to a library of premium edition electronic art games and fan favorite series. Yay. Now, what bothers me about this is, again, the same thing. They just want to monetize you. They're basically trying to turn regular games into the same kind of model that you see on mobile gaming, and of course that you see in other types of software. This is a ploy to bring in more money while doing less work, which is understandable to some degree. If they were actually providing something more tangible than just access to games that you are probably not going to play, you lose the in-game member rewards. It's the same thing with D&D at this point. They have the Wizards of the Coast want everybody to go into D&D Beyond, and they want everybody to subscribe to D&D Beyond so that they can access whatever's on there and give you all their pretend little perks that you can't use anywhere else. And if these are things that excite you, okay, cool. You know what? It's your money. Please do with it as you wish. I am not going to sit here and tell you not to. However, I am going to point out that as things progress the way they are, it is going to continue to erode the idea of owning anything, of owning your game. And while it might not seem important to some people, when you own your game, that means you can revisit it years from now. That means that you can mod it. That means you don't have to worry about rebuying it for the nth time, assuming you're on PC, of course. On consoles, you are a little more locked in regards to if you buy it on Xbox, you're going to have to rebuy it for PlayStation. And then you're going to have to rebuy it for PC in the event you want to play it on all of them. But that's a separate issue, kind of. The fact is I do very much see this as a problem. I see this as AAA studios looking for a way to get more out of people without giving them anything back. Especially Ubisoft, who has quite literally stated that they think that they're not getting enough money for their games, without looking at the fact that they're really not giving us what we want. So why would we want to give them more money for their games? But yeah, you know, while the digital age has a lot of really cool things going on for it, the fact that games can be patched, the fact that you can do DLCs, which, you know, once upon a time really weren't a bad deal. You know, instead of having to run out and buy the next game, you just downloaded a little file and you got more game, you got more cool stuff, you got some cosmetics or something like that. Now it's gone overboard in that they're literally locking entire portions of your game behind DLCs that you have to pay for, as opposed to them being a perk of the game. Personally, I would advise against purchasing any of these unless for some reason you feel like you absolutely must. If you are a console player and you are locked into buying them because you would like to do multiplayer, I get it. You have your friends, y'all want to play together. It makes sense. Consoles are out for a reason. I am not, well, I mean, to some degree, I am a PC master race snob, but overall, I do understand the place in the ecosystem for the consoles. They absolutely work great for people who don't want to have to deal with the upkeep behind a PC, who don't want, they provide a much lower bar of entry for people who would like to game and require less specialized equipment. So I don't blame anybody who has to do this because they need to in order to get the entirety of the value out of their purchase. I just think it's bullshit that you have to. I think it's utter bullshit that you have to pay Sony or Xbox or even Nintendo. Like, I haven't gone through Nintendo's stuff, but the fact that I have to pay the money to access online content and to play Mario Kart, say, with my brother across the country is ridiculous. To some degree, it does make sense in that they do have to upkeep their own networks. But at the same time, if they just made it easier to connect peer-to-peer or to create your own servers so that you don't have to pay them, they would actually probably remove a lot of burdens from themselves while making a lot of people a lot happier. All that to say, I really just wanted to call attention to this again. I wanted to talk about this again because it bothers me. It bothers me the direction that gaming is going. I don't want to see gaming go the same way Adobe did, where the only way you can get your games is to pay for a service, because at that point we're all just trapped. To some degree, people on consoles are already locked into it. But that's also why I don't think the idea of a console without a gaming slot is a great idea. But I'm also a proponent for physical media. So what do you guys think? Do you think there's too much of this going on? Do you feel over monetized yet? I mean, I know I do. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. If you really liked it, you can feel free to share it around, and I will catch you later.